somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. Welcome especially to our live audience on Facebook and now on local television this summer. Thank you guys for joining us here each week. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host, with our season finale. I hope you've enjoyed our summer season running June through September. So happy to have a new friend and actually a first-time guest of the show. She is a habit and success coach.
Yes.
It's Lady Fuller. Welcome, Lady.
Thank you so much for having me. You didn't tell me it was the season finale.
Season finale. Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
great.
Well, I didn't want you to get too nervous. You know, like, put all that pressure on you. Like, this is the
Okay, I'm good.
finale.
Yeah.
You better get this right.
Yeah.
I think I already stumbled on a few words, so don't feel bad. I do.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I get to do this all the time, but thank you for being here this week.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor to have you. I saw you featured by our mutual friend May Einen in a
Yes.
recent newspaper
Yes.
column. And so I was really impressed by your work, and I kind of dug in a little deeper and then became friends on Facebook and just started looking at some of your videos and YouTube and, you know, helping people so deeply achieve happiness. And the name of the show is Habits for Happiness.
Yes.
And of course, we'll talk about some of those keys to the kingdom of happiness. But let's start with kind of related topic. Like, I know doing what you do for work makes you happy.
Yes.
But what are some summer activities that also bring you happiness?
Ooh, this is like a I like this question.
We're going to have a variety.
Yeah, so, being in nature is like one of my 3 core values in life that brings me immense happiness. And so blessed to live here in Aspen, of course. And being outside, no matter what's happening in my life, will always bring me fulfillment. It's said that actually that we forest bathing, which is a habit.
Yes. Shinroku.
Yes, was adopted in Korea and Japan by their different prime ministers of happiness, actually, as this idea that the more time we spend in nature increases our dopamine levels. And increase our dopamine actually because there's fractals in nature, did you know this? That mimic the way our brain is actually sorted. So when we see them, whether that's the pattern of a tree or leaves or the fall colors, it actually calms our nervous system, lowers our cortisol levels, and makes us happier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of those activities that you enjoy in
Activities
nature?
that I enjoy. Sorry, I didn't even answer your question.
That's
so
okay.
I am a huge hiker. Actually, I've never met an alpine lake that I didn't like. So
You like those high elevation lake
yes,
hikes?
and I actually would love to make a coffee table book about high elevation lakes because I always say to them, everyone's out there bagging 14ers. Well, I'm bagging lakes.
So slightly lower, but
Slightly lower.
you can
Well,
still
some
get
are
up.
high.
Yeah, you can still
Some
get
are
up high with the lake
Yeah,
bagging.
it started last summer during COVID. It was this sort of joke amongst my friends because there was so many new people in town that you had to go farther and farther out to get
escape.
To escape, right? So I was like, I was up at Savage Lakes. I was at a lot of lakes that people don't see very often. So if you get out there and look, we've got a lot of beautiful alpine lakes. And I always say it's like church for me. All good juju is up there in those alpine lakes.
And I noticed you like camping as well.
I'm a huge camper, yes. I love camping. I often go camping, and I've spent a lot of time this summer out at Blue Mesa Reservoir, which they just lowered and took the boats out because we sent all the water down to Powell. But
Okay. So then you're going to follow the water to
I'm
Lake
going to
Powell.
follow this Lake Powell this weekend. Yeah, with my good friend the Klugs.
Oh, I love it.
And do some cliff jumping.
I think actually one of the images we're going to bring up is you recently camping with the Klugs.
Yes,
Was that at
yes.
Blue Mesa?
That was at Blue Mesa, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm
Good friends of mine as well.
Yeah, they're amazing. And Chris and Chris and Missy have always told me that one of their favorite activities to do with me or together is Acapulco cliff diving. So we So we like to find very safe cliffs in Lake Powell to jump off of. So that's a big excursion of ours this weekend.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So are you like diving, or do you
No,
have like
no,
a favorite?
no.
What's your go-to?
It's
like,
just like, I mean, I was thinking about it earlier if I was going to do a cannonball, but that seemed like that might not be a good idea. So I think just like go straight in.
Straight in.
Straight
okay.
in, yeah.
Okay.
Least resistance.
I like is it the jackknife where you kind of go like this? I think.
I know. I
think that's jackknife. You want to make a splash.
Higher, I think this is harder on the body. So.
I love Powell. Are you going to do any fishing in Lake Powell?
I'm not a fisherman. I mean, I am from Louisiana, which is all full of fish, but no fishing this weekend. No planning on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. Are you a cyclist as well? Do you like riding bikes?
I do like riding bikes. You know, my dad has also had a house in Aspen for many years, and he still rides his bike at age 84.
I love it.
And I rode up with him on the Bells this summer, and he rode his e-bike, and I was riding my road bike. And he, you know, was of course ahead of me, and he was like, not that far ahead of me, but he was ahead of me, and he's like, "Are you doing okay over there?" And I was like, "It's not fair."
Yeah, come on, man. You got to get in his draft.
He's like, "You need to get in shape, lady." I was like, "Oh my God."
No, you just need an e-draft. You get in there behind the e-bike.
I was like, "This is not fair." But
good for him, though.
Yes,
That's
good
so
for
awesome.
him. Yeah.
That's cool. We're going to take a quick break, lady. We got so much to get to.
Okay.
Including the keys to the kingdom of happiness.
Yes.
It's not exactly what we've been sold growing up, conditioned about the house, 2.5 kids, white picket fence. Maybe not.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the real keys to happiness, but we do want to thank our summer underwriters who've made this amazing series happen. I want to thank Haiti Children, Independence Pass Foundation, Klug Properties, Paradise Bakery, White River Overland, Pitkin County Landfill, and last but not least, Sundog Athletics. We'll go to our only break of the show, guys. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And we've got so much happiness to get to, you guys, so don't go away. The Independence Pass Foundation. For 32 years, restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
White River Overland specializes in camper van upfitting and overland outfitting. Catering to mountain dwellers and outdoor enthusiasts, many of WRO's builds are purpose-driven to facilitate and enhance skiing, cycling, camping, climbing, and river adventures. Nestled in the White River National Forest, close to the deserts of western Colorado and Utah, WRO also rents camper vans and accessories. More at whiteriveroverland.com. Celebrating their 25th anniversary, Sundog Athletics is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh adventure updates.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the local show. We have Lady Fuller. It's a habit and success coach.
Yes.
And who doesn't want to have good habits, maybe replacing some negative habits?
Yeah.
But we talked a little bit about recreation, lady, to kind of open the show. And let's kind of break that down, because I think that's part of happiness, at least for me, is when we recreate, we recreate
Oh, I love that.
ourselves.
We do.
Can you speak to that a little bit? Like the importance of recreating ourselves through recreation, through moving our bodies and activity?
Yeah, I mean, so we're the only animals in nature that don't shake off. I don't know if you've ever heard that. So if you look at
Like a dog.
or an animal that gets scared, it actually shakes for a period of time after and releases all of its trauma.
Okay.
And we don't like shake off, right? And so you may have noticed, like, if you go dancing at night with friends, like how euphoric you feel, right?
Right,
Because
right.
in moving our bodies, we're actually like moving emotions and all of this stuck stuff in our bodies out of our bodies. So there is this mental component to movement that I think is pretty undervalued. I mean, most of us think, oh, I need to go jump on the elliptical so I can lose weight or whatever. But we don't realize that just being in nature is one thing that releases dopamine, but also being in nature and doing things that we love and moving our bodies has this compound effect of making us happier and more fulfilled. Right?
Right.
And these things don't have to necessarily have an end of themselves. I know everyone in Aspen loves Strava, but I'm always annoyed. I'm like, why can't you just go for a bike ride?
Right. Does everything have to be a metric and measured, and how fast am I compared to everyone else? And just moving.
I have 2 children, and just watching them play for the sake of playing is something us as adults don't do very often. And I think there's this real correlation between movement and play that is so powerful. And, most people I talk to, especially a lot of people I coach, talk about this idea of really being homesick for themselves. And what I equate that to mean is this idea that we've lost that like fun part of ourselves that as kids we take for granted, right? This idea of wonder. And we live here in Aspen, in one of the most wonderful places on earth, and there's so much wonder to be had. And it's really nice to just go out and move and be in nature or recreate without a goal in mind, right? And just do it because at the end of it, you will feel refreshed and rejuvenate and recreated your mood and your body and your spirit in all these ways.
I love it. There's so much in there. I love the kind of like when you said shaking off, and I was like envisioning my dogs when they come out of the water, but then I immediately thought dancing.
Yeah,
like our
so
version,
dancing is a great
dancing's one of the
way to
ways, but
shake.
any of this movement is it's like cleansing, it's recreating. New cells are actually recreating in our body. And all that, that's really powerful.
For Aspenites, if you go to Shakti Shala, Jane Gottlieb has a booty class where she actually dances, where she's doing yoga and like shaking her butt. You shake your butt the whole time.
Okay.
And everybody in there, there's men, there's women, everybody's shaking, and you're just like, these people, man, they all needed this class. Really
Shake
badly.
your booty. Remember that song from the 70s?
I mean, you just can't not like shake your butt and not like have a smile on your face. Like it's almost virtually impossible to like shake your butt and like to funny music and like then be sad. Just those things don't happen in tandem. So
we were made to shake our butts.
We
just got to do it more often. We just have to focus on that.
Some people are better at that than others, but yes, yeah.
Let's kind of do a little rapid fire on kind of like popular habits for happiness.
Okay.
And starting the day.
Yeah, morning
with
routine.
Something like this.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Water and hydration.
So water and hydration. So one of the biggest habits for happiness that I'm a huge proponent of is water. And so no matter, what type of human you are, all humans need to be hydrated. And the data shows that almost all humans, at least in the US, are walking around severely dehydrated.
Yeah.
Not just kind of, like severely. And to be severely dehydrated creates mood swings, anxiety, sleep problems, irritability, frustration, reactiveness. I mean, you name it, almost all the things that people come to me for. So, we aren't taught that, these simple things like the habit of drinking enough water can actually solve a lot of those problems. I'm not saying for everyone, but it's a place to start, right? So I often tell people a great, rule of thumb is you're supposed to drink each day half your body weight, convert that to ounces of water. So I weigh 130 pounds, I convert that to 65 ounces. So about 65 ounces of water I should consume a day. So that's a personal thing. And a good way to start the day is drinking, I often say, 30 ounces of water right when you wake up.
Which is more than one of these. This is
it's like a large,
this is a 22 to 24 ounce
with a wide top.
Okay.
That would be about 30 ounces.
30 ounces
to
to
give
start
people,
right when you wake up.
right when before you've had your morning coffee, and make sure you are moving around, because it will fill your bowels and everything with water, and flush everything out. But it's like taking a shower, right? So you take a shower in the morning to wash off your outsides. This is showering through your insides. So when you wake up in the morning, you're the most dehydrated that you are throughout your entire day, because you've been detoxing all night. So you need water. And then you're halfway to your hydration goal. And then you've just flushed everything out that might be a toxin that's waiting to be released.
And I imagine you get just more energy too, right?
Absolutely.
Because more hydration means more energy as well.
Yeah, I mean, when we're dehydrated, we are lethargic by definition. And then you're going to likely, if you're like me, have some coffee or do your other morning routines, which I also espouse as habits for happiness.
And if you have coffee or alcohol, you need to compensate for that as well.
Yes.
So that adds water
Yes.
onto the equation.
Yes, and a little bit more water, because we live here at altitude, at 8,500 feet or so.
Right.
And
we're more active.
Yeah, we're on Strava.
Right, on Strava.
Our steps in, or our pedals in, or whatever it is. And so we need more water. And a lot of times, for those people that are athletes, they need water plus some electrolytes or some other way, because you can drink too much water if you're over-exercising, which is not a good thing.
Well, our mutual friend Chris Klug likes to talk about starting his day with, I think he says 10 gratitudes?
Yeah.
10 or 20 gratitudes.
Yeah,
Let's talk
he's
about
just
gratitude.
on my radio show last week, and he definitely, for those viewers who've ever met Chris Klug, is like one of the happiest human beings.
Yeah.
And people always say, is he really that happy in real life? And I can say, as his personal friend, yes, he is really that happy. And a lot of that is about living this attitude of gratitude. So I just had him on my radio show last week, and he told me that he writes 2 thank you notes every morning as part of his morning routine, which is a form of gratitude. Handwritten thank you notes, which is also a habit for happiness, and also expresses gratitude. And oftentimes I have clients also write down 10 things they're thankful for every morning. Because if you start on that note before you look, there's another thing, don't look at your phone right when you wake up. Right. 97% of people in the U.S. look at their phone within 1 minute of waking up.
I'm in the 3 that never looks at a cell phone.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be in your room. It should be in the bathroom or something. It's not good for your brain to have those, to have that going on. But the other thing is, I always tell people, that's a whole lot of people to introduce into your bedroom before you have your clothes on.
Yeah, wait a minute. I don't know if that doesn't sound right on any level. It just sounds,
because most people go to Facebook or social media or the news, and none of that. I had a friend once who told me, well, no one tells you won the lottery on email or social media. There's not really that much good news on your phone. So a good habit to get into is waking up and perhaps doing your water ritual, not looking at your phone. And I usually say a good short morning routine is 10 minutes of silence, not meditating, but just sitting in silence, because it does set the tone for your day. And then having, a journaling exercise, whether it's 10 items of gratitude to write down, or, whatever you want to journal about, maybe 3 things you want to get done before 10 a.m., because there is actually only 3 things we have to do each day, believe it or not, really important things. And then get on with your day. But the importance of those things happening first thing when you wake up is that the way you wake up sets the tone for your entire day.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. And so if you can set your tone of your day from this really powerful sort of gratitude place, then you can then have this much more responsive day versus reactive day, which is what we all want. And if our days are just a small slivers of our life, then how we show up every day is how we're going to show up in our life. So if you want an awesome life, the morning routine is the place to start.
Right, and then showing up, right? Because when we show up, at least we have a chance.
Yeah, well, you
like
have
Jim
to show
Carrey
up.
said in Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you have to show up for yourself before you can show up for anyone else. Right. And so that's the part of this 10 minutes of silence, is that, I always tell people you can't pour from an empty cup. So most of us are producers, right? We go out into the world and we take care of children or spouses or partners, or then we go to work and produce content of some sort, or produce goodness, or we volunteer, or we go out and go on Strava and, hike a 14 or whatever it is. And in order to be the best producer we can be, is this habit that's in Stephen Covey's, we were talking about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is this concept of sharpening your sword. So if you're going to be a warrior and be a productive warrior all day, you also have to take time for rest, because that is sharpening your sword.
Let's talk about nappy hour. Because
we're
pretty familiar with happy hour here in Aspen and Opry.
Well,
but what about nappy hour? It's in, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
let's make it in.
Nappy is trending, right?
Nappy's
hour.
Trending.
I'm not a drinker, so I'm down for nappy hour. I am a huge napper, and I really think for those people who have a proclivity or want to nap, it is a fantastic habit. Now, not everyone can nap, because some people don't feel good after they nap, and/or they just are not daytime sleepers. Totally fair.
Right.
But for the vast majority of us that could take a siesta or want to take a siesta, people say to me, well, I don't have time to take a nap. And I said, well, you don't have time not to. Because if it sharpens your sword, you might wake up from that nap and solve a problem that if you were to power through emails all day, you would have never solved. And that problem might save you 3 years at your desk.
Right.
So
more efficient.
More efficient.
When you come out of
that
nap. Yeah.
So the idea is about being more efficient and being more effective as human beings, right? So then we can be happier and do all the fun stuff that we want to do outside.
And I know if I can even we were talking about this before the show, even just 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, just putting the feet up, taking that break in silence maybe, I can power through the night. I could work at my desk till 7 or 8 and be much more efficient. And, so I think it's beneficial in a lot of ways. Also supplementing that shortage of sleep during the night, because most people don't get that,
right?
7, 8, 9 hours
right?
at
Well,
night.
everybody needs a different amount of sleep. So sleep's a habit, right? And as we get older, our sleep cycles get shorter. But it's really important that we have enough REM sleep, which is the sleep in which our eyes are moving. So it's the deepest form of sleep. And we can't, not all of us have enough sleep to have enough REM cycles. So there's a REM cycle, I think, every 90 minutes when you're asleep. And what's great about a nap is if you nap for long enough, and I don't know how REM works in naps, but you actually will have some REM, which does increase your creativity and increase your cognitive abilities, and actually your happiness. So there is a direct correlation between napping and happiness, and I'm not just saying that because I love naps.
Go nappy and be happy.
Go nappy and be happy. Look, this is my new tagline.
Okay, well, let's shift gears a little bit, because you also are involved in suicide advocacy work.
Yes.
Hard for me to say. But let's talk about that a little bit, because we've got a pretty high suicide rate here in the Valley.
Yeah.
And, how are you involved in that and kind of trying to affect that?
So all these ski towns, Telluride, Aspen, Crested Butte, we all suffer from this, epidemic of suicide. And I think we could debate this till the cows come home, but there's multiple reasons. Some say it's elevation, some say it's lifestyle, some say, if you can't be happy in Aspen, where could you be happy? And it's close to my heart. I lost my mom when I was 9 from suicide, and I lived in New Orleans at the time.
I'm sorry.
And thank you. And the one thing that really came up for me when I decided that my life was in my early 40s, I found myself deeply unhappy after checking, as we were talked about before the show, off all the boxes that I was taught would bring me happiness. And I thought to myself, well, I've got to explore things that bring me fulfillment. So how can I help the world? And I really felt like I needed to, it's this concept of making your mess your message, right? So my message was, I need to spread hope and light, right? So that's my purpose. And I'm a proud member of the Aspen Hope Center here in Aspen, who does amazing crisis work, and also involved with Aspen Strong. And, I decided to coach because I wanted to get people upstream of suicide. Because I thought, suicide's a super hard topic to talk about, and most people, it's uncomfortable to talk about, and most people don't want to hear about it. And so if we can let people know earlier on in their journey how they can have agency over their own happiness, then perhaps we can, not have as many people coming downriver towards suicide. Yeah. And the dirty little secret that none of us are taught is that all of our happiness resides inside of us.
Right.
And most people say, well, that's great, lady, but the external world is throwing, whatever at me, and it's impossible. And, if you've ever read one of my favorite books, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, you would know that, cookies.
Just a signal, we got to wrap soon. It's okay.
that the only control we have in this world is our ability to see the world through our own lens, and to, have these small habits that make us happier, and realize that, we're our best proponent.
So, lady, in closing, I thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. I'm welling from gratitude. How can people find out more? And you do both personal and corporate coaching.
I do personal and corporate coaching, helping people be happier and be more productive in the workplace through habits and time management. People can go to my website, which is habits with a 4 happiness, or email me at lady@happinessmba.com.
Did you have fun on the show today?
I did. Thank you so much for having me.
I know you basically did it because of the cookies.
Of course. I heard you gave away chocolate and cookies, which are my 2 favorite food groups.
So thank you, lady. Here's a little home-baked chocolate mega chunk and macadamia nut.
I have to wait till eat that after?
Well, it's only a few seconds away. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And you guys, thank you for this entire summer series. Thank you for watching today on the local show as well. The Independence Pass Foundation, for 32 years, restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
White River Overland specializes in camper van upfitting and overland outfitting. Catering to mountain dwellers and outdoor enthusiasts, many of WRO's builds are purpose-driven to facilitate and enhance skiing, cycling, camping, climbing, and river adventures. Nestled in the White River National Forest, close to the deserts of western Colorado and Utah, WRO also rents camper vans and accessories. More at whiteriveroverland.com. Celebrating their 25th anniversary, Sundog Athletics is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh adventure updates.
Welcome to